How's it, everyone? Welcome back to another racket review right here on OpenCourt. So today we are taking a look at the new 2023 Head Auxetic Gravity Pro and the MP. Let's check it out. With the 2023 update to the Gravity lineup, Head introduces the Auxetic technology in the yoke or bridge, which improves stability, feel, and response. The head shape also features a new sweet zone layup with a wider hoop at the top for a larger sweet spot. The new head shape is similar to the Boom series. Let's take a quick look at the specs of the Pro and MP models of the new Gravity. Both are 100 square inch heads. The Pro is obviously the more advanced and demanding of the two. With a paper-thin 20mm straight beam and tight 18x20 string pattern, this racket will excel in control and feel, but will require more of the user in terms of power and spin. The MP is a little more forgiving with its lightweight and slightly thicker beam, but at 22mm and a 16x20 string pattern, the MP can provide above average control. Power can be increased with some added weight and customization. Alright guys, so I'm here with Matt. He's one of my students. He plays high school tennis for me. So I got his help today on this review. So he's going to be talking a little bit about the Gravity MP. I'll be giving my thoughts on the Gravity Pro a little bit later, but first let's start. Matt, what did you like about the new Head Auxetic Gravity MP?
So first of all, the MP, I really enjoyed the volleys part. It was very clean on contact and I felt like the ball would just go through the court well.
So would you say your volleys were your favorite shot with this?
Yep, for sure. That
Awesome.
was the best one.
Okay, yeah. So what did you struggle with, or where did you think that this racket could possibly be improved?
I personally think this racket could be improved on ground strokes, especially with just normal ground strokes like forehand, backhand, because you don't really get too much spin on the ball, and on your kick serves as well. You don't really feel like you bite the ball and it just kind of dies when it bounces.
I see. How did you feel about the weight of this racket?
The weight of the racket, it was a bit too light for my personal taste. When you hit it, it feels like you're just kind of swinging air almost. Unlike my E-zone here, it'd have some weight behind the ball.
Okay, yeah, great. So great transition to the next question. How does this Gravity MP compare to your current racket? So what do you use right now?
I use the 2022 Yonex E-zone 98.
Okay, and how does that compare with the MP?
This one, in my opinion, it just, overall, I feel like it's a better racket in almost all departments, even the volleys. Serves, I get so much power with it. Second serves, I can kick it really well. And then ground strokes, I can get all the spin I need.
Awesome. And then I understand you've also played with the previous model of this Gravity MP. So how does this new Auxetic compare to the previous gen of the Gravity MP?
This one, in my opinion, feels more connected to the ball. Like I can actually feel when I'm making contact and where I want to hit the ball.
Yeah, the Auxetic technology definitely does make a difference. I felt it in the boom and the speed and the extreme as well. All right, guys, so check back in later for my thoughts on the Gravity Pro. So I just want to give my quick thoughts on the Gravity MP. I pretty much agree with what Matt said. The Gravity MP lacks plow through and flutters somewhat in the hand because of its light weight. I would definitely weight this up to increase the power level and stability so it won't get pushed around. I do like its lightweight maneuverability at the net, and its 16x20 string pattern provides good control on full swings like my aggressive forehand returns. The feel on drop shots and angles was where I like the MP most. Most of the time when a company introduces new technology to a racket line, it's just marketing, but I do feel the new Auxetic adds to the feel and response to head rackets and isn't just advertising. I felt the same way with the Boom, the Extreme, and the Speed Auxetic versions. So let's get into my full thoughts on the Gravity Pro model, but before that, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button to keep the reviews coming. So I want to start with what I liked about the Gravity. First off, this new paint job looks really awesome. I really like this kind of two-toned colorway. I think that every generation of the Gravity line has improved on its cosmetic. I didn't really like the dual-faced one of the first gen, but this generation, it's nice, dark, subtle tone, and it's really nice. Secondly, this is a very soft and comfortable and plush feeling racket, as all Gravity rackets have been. My arm is fine, I don't have any pain using a stiffer frame, but many people always ask me about soft polys and soft rackets, and the Gravity line is the softest model in Head's racket lineup. I didn't feel any jarring sensations in my elbow at all, despite the tighter string pattern, and the flex feels nice and plush. This Gravity Pro has great control with this thin 20mm beam, tight 1820 string pattern. It has great control on those full swings. Even the MP did as well with the 1620 22mm beam, and the Gravity Pro ups the ante on the control level. I really like the tighter string patterns precisely for this reason. I can take full rips, especially on returns. By far my favorite shot to hit with the Gravity Pro was my forehand returns and ground strokes. The trajectory was low, but I could keep the ball deep by swinging out. I actually decided to flatten out a lot of my shots with the Gravity Pro because the control was good and power level was low. I believe if you are a flatter hitter, the Gravity Pro will give you the control to keep those swings inside the baseline and pin your opponent back. It also had great directional control, as I could push my opponent left and right and change direction on hard shots with relative ease. My backhand is usually more of a defensive option, but I could simply redirect my opponent's shots in opposite directions, which opened up more options in my ground stroke game, and I wasn't worried I would have to defend all day from the baseline. This is a very fast swinging, headlight feeling, maneuverable racket, especially at the net, and you guys know I like maneuverable rackets. I could get the Gravity Pro into position to hit an effective volley very easily because of that maneuverability. When approaching the net after serving or returning, if I ever had to hit that first volley from behind the service line, the Gravity Pro had enough stability to punch back a deep transition volley. It was also maneuverable enough to get the sweet spot on the ball even when my opponent blasted the ball at my feet. On the serves, the headlight balance meant I could get a decent amount of racket head acceleration on the pronation. I used my flat serve quite often with the Gravity Pro, which is not a serve I typically employ because it's inconsistent. I also like mixing it up with a slice serve out wide or into the body that kept my opponents on their toes. I relied more on placement into the corners with my serve than overwhelming returners with power or spin. The Gravity Pro's pinpoint precision on service placement made that possible. I really noticed the ball sinking into the string bed in this racket as well. The dwell time is very long, and it's great for those feel and touch oriented shots, especially drop shots. Probably the most notable aspect of the Gravity Pro that makes it stand out among the vast options of head rackets is the feel and flex. The dwell time with the Gravity is the longest I've felt compared to other head rackets. This made it easy for me to hit drop shots and angles, which I love to use. I'm not really a guy who hits passing shots from the baseline. I'm more of a crafty player who likes to confuse my opponents with touch volleys, slices, and short angles. The long dwell time of the Gravity Pro made these shots possible, and it conformed rather well to my playstyle. And lastly, this is a pretty stable racket as it is 100 square inches, so it helps on those big, aggressive, full ground strokes. I think the added stability can be attributed to the updated design of the head shape. The upper hoop has been widened so the racket head looks like an upside down teardrop, much like the boom. Most advanced players strike the ball in that upper region, and that made the Gravity Pro stable. The sweet spot is also fairly generous, and I really liked it on punch volleys. I could take an aggressive swat at the ball and finish the point easily when I got a sitter at the net. It also goes without saying that I loved it on my aggressive returns where stability is important. A stable racket allows me to redirect my opponent's power and transition from defense to offense quickly. So getting into the cons of the Gravity Pro, this racket gives very little in terms of power and spin. I really had to work hard to generate either of those. This didn't surprise me as I reviewed the previous generation of the Gravity Pro and it was one of the lowest powered rackets I've ever used. I think it's even more low powered than my Prince Phantom 118-20. Unless my opponent gave me a powerful shot that I could redirect, I couldn't generate any power of my own. If I was given a sitting duck, I couldn't strike it with authority the way I can with the boom or the speed. If I tried to add more power than I can comfortably generate, my swing would become wild and I would clip the frame or send it long. Also, I wasn't very confident serving with this racket because of the low power and spin level. I was immediately put on the defensive most of the time if I hit a sitter, which happened more often than I would have cared to admit. My kick serves were terrible with this racket. Literally everything sat up for my opponent to smash. I have a bad habit of telegraphing my kick serve with my toss, and returners were able to run around my kick serve with ease and blast the forehand return back. It was very demoralizing for me to see people run around my kick serve so easily, as I've spent quite a bit of time trying to learn that kick serve. I had to focus extra hard on getting my first serve in because I use my kick serve for the second about 75% of the time. If I was facing a big returner, I was in trouble. But besides these, I didn't have any other issues with the Gravity Pro, but the lack of power and spin was a big factor. I wouldn't consider switching to this racket because it is too demanding for me, and although I do appreciate the control and low trajectory, the Speed Pro, Boom Pro, and Extreme Tour are much more my kind of rackets. If I were to use this racket full time, I would string it with a full bed of multi-filament, which I typically wouldn't do, just to unlock more power from this frame. So just to wrap up, this gravity line feels very familiar because it feels really similar to the Prince Phantom X 118-20 that I do like, but I think this racket is a little bit more lower powered and a little bit more demanding. I believe the Gravity Pro is more for those feel, touch-oriented shots and for players who are looking for a plush and comfortable feel who don't want to injure their arm. And I think the Gravity Pro is for those who can already generate their own power and spin, who just want a little bit more help and control. The MP is a little bit more forgiving, but it is still a relatively low-powered racket compared to some other tweeners. I definitely wouldn't put this in the tweener frame, the Gravity Pro. This is definitely more of a player's frame, so you have to be able to generate your own spin and power, be one of those advanced ball strikers to really unlock the full potential of the Gravity Pro. Thank you for watching this review of the new 2023 Head Auxetic Gravity Pro and MP right here on OpenCourt. If you guys like this content, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on an OpenCourt.